When the letter from the Municipal Housing Authority slipped out of my coat pocket and unfolded on my desk, revealing an impending eviction order set for the end of the month, my vision blurred and the room spun in total silence. For 9 agonizing months, I had been carrying a soul-crushing secret that threatened to dismantle every fragile piece of my life. My younger brother, Lucas, had been involved in a life-altering accident during his final year of trade school, and in a desperate bid to cover his specialized physical therapy and cognitive rehabilitation, I had quietly surrendered my life savings, sold every valuable possession I owned, and accumulated an overwhelming mountain of high-interest personal loans. Every single morning, I walked through the sun-drenched glass doors of Apex Corporate Holdings, sat at my cluttered workspace, and put on a mask of calm composure, praying no one would notice the bone-deep exhaustion weighing down my shoulders. The only constant beam of warmth in that high-pressure corporate environment was Chloe Reynolds, our senior operations analyst whose desk sat directly across the wide floor from mine. Chloe was a remarkable woman whose sharp intellect, gentle humor, and genuine kindness brought light into the darkest corners of my mind, though my crippling insecurity and fear of burdening anyone had kept me from ever expressing my true feelings to her. Before I share how one extraordinary afternoon turned my quiet desperation into a life-changing miracle, if you believe in kindness, forgiveness, hope, and second chances, please take a moment to like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement today, and subscribe to our channel to join our growing family of heart-centered storytellers. The late morning sun streamed brightly through the panoramic windows of our 19th floor office, reflecting off the polished hardwood floors and bathing the bustling room in a warm, amber glow. I sat staring blankly at a sea of complex logistics data on my dual monitors, my fingers frozen over the keyboard as my mind raced with terrifying images of Lucas losing his care and the two of us ending up on the streets. I was so completely consumed by my internal spiral that I failed to hear the light, rhythmic sound of footsteps approaching my cubicle, nor did I notice the subtle scent of lavender and fresh cedar wood drifting through the air. Without a word of warning, Chloe leaned down right over my desk, her soft blonde hair lightly brushing against the edge of my shoulder as her hand reached past mine to highlight an overlooked figure on my secondary screen. Her sudden proximity, combined with the gentle warmth of her presence and the intense focus in her hazel eyes, sent an absolute shockwave through my chest, causing my thoughts to stall completely and my heart to pound like a sledgehammer against my ribs. I froze in absolute astonishment, staring wide-eyed at her hand resting just inches from my keyboard, utterly incapable of drawing a full breath or stringing together a coherent thought. Noticing my total stiffness, Chloe tilted her head slightly, catching my wide, bewildered gaze, and a radiant, playful smile lit up her face as she grinned warmly and whispered if I was distracted. Instead of laughing at my flushed cheeks or stepping back to give me space, Chloe pulled up a nearby wooden chair and sat right beside me, her keen intuition recognizing immediately that my frozen state was born from deep, overwhelming distress rather than simple shyness. She pointed out that I had accidentally reversed 2 vital data columns on a critical quarterly report that was scheduled for review by the board of directors later that afternoon, an error that could have severely damaged my professional standing. When I stammered out a series of frantic apologies, my voice broke, betraying the immense emotional agony I had been holding inside for nearly a year. Chloe gently laid a hand over my trembling wrist, her voice turning soft and filled with unwavering earnestness as she urged me to stop blaming myself and simply talk to her. Sitting together under the bright sunlight of the office, I found myself pouring my heart out for the very first time, detailing Lucas's agonizing recovery journey, the predatory loan contracts I had signed out of sheer desperation, and the suffocating terror of losing our home within weeks. Chloe listened in total, respectful silence, her eyes shimmering with genuine tears of empathy as she assured me that struggling through hardship was nothing to be ashamed of and that no one was meant to carry such immense burdens entirely alone. As the afternoon unfolded, the atmosphere in the office grew increasingly tense as our stern regional director, Julian Vance, began pacing through the department, demanding final updates on the board presentation. Recognizing that my mental exhaustion might lead to further slip-ups, Chloe stepped up with remarkable leadership and grace, volunteering to co-present the operational assessment with me and taking responsibility for verifying every line item on my spreadsheet. Side by side at my desk, bathed in the rich sunlight of early afternoon, we worked with focused intensity, her patient guidance helping me reframe my approach to the complex data and rebuilding my confidence line by line. Her steady presence acted as a grounding anchor against my panic, showing me that true strength lies not in pretending to be invincible, but in allowing trusted people to walk alongside us in our moments of weakness. For the first time in months, the heavy shroud of despair that had wrapped around my heart began to dissolve, replaced by a quiet, rising spark of hope. When the time arrived for the executive meeting in the brightly lit glass conference room, Chloe and I delivered the complex performance report with perfect synergy, fielding tough inquiries from the executive panel with poise and absolute clarity. Director Vance, who was known across the organization for his rigid standards and unyielding tone, praised our thoroughness and declared our joint strategy as the gold standard for future corporate evaluations. Immediately following the presentation, Chloe guided me into a quiet, sunlit corner office and presented me with an envelope containing an official application for the company's internal emergency relief fund, a special corporate foundation program that she had quietly contacted on my behalf during her lunch break. She explained that after reviewing my brother's medical records and my stellar track record at the firm, the Foundation Committee had unanimously granted an immediate, non-repayable financial hardship grant designed to resolve my housing crisis and consolidate Lucas's medical debts into a manageable, long-term care arrangement. A wave of profound emotional relief washed over me, and tears spilled down my face as the crushing weight of impending disaster was lifted off my chest in a single, beautiful moment of corporate compassion and personal grace. In the weeks that followed that unforgettable day, the entire trajectory of my life shifted toward healing and renewal. With the financial pressure lifted, Lucas made astounding strides in his physical therapy, regaining his independence and bringing laughter back into our home, while my working relationship with Chloe evolved naturally into a deep, tender romance built on honesty, vulnerability, and unwavering mutual respect. I learned that letting go of pride and trusting others during our most vulnerable moments is not a defeat, but the very key that unlocks redemption and second chances. Chloe's simple act of leaning over my desk on that bright morning did far more than correct a technical error on a computer monitor. It rescued a drowning spirit and reminded me that even when we feel completely lost in the shadows, kindness and love are always waiting to guide us back into the light. Before we conclude this emotional journey, please take a moment to leave a meaningful comment below sharing your thoughts on the power of second chances, or share a story from your own life about a time when unexpected kindness brought hope back into your world. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another emotional journey with our family. Today, as Chloe and I work together in that bright, sunlit office, I look back on that turning point with deep gratitude, knowing that love, compassion, and human connection will always have the power to heal our deepest wounds and build a brighter tomorrow.